Welcome to Peep This Out Reviews with Ian K.
Stay frosty.
Welcome to the Friday Night live stream, everybody. It's Ian K, creator, producer, and host of Peep This Out Reviews here on YouTube. Everybody should be filing in just a second over here, but if you are just logging in right now, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you can actually hear me okay and see me okay, along with hitting the thumbs up down below to like the stream and actually help it trend. That would be awesome. Wink, wink. Great to see all of you guys on here. Let's see who we have got in effect. It is great to be on here with you for another Friday night stream. We're officially in spooky season, actually the spooky month, I should say, because of October being what it is. It's great to see you guys all here. Thanks so much for jumping in. Ed Keaton, okay, we got the thumbs up in there. Excellent, excellent. Great to see you all, guys. Great to see you all. It is great to be here right now. Let me shoot up to the very top. We'll get started in just a few. Actually, before we do that, let me get some prayer hands here in the chat, if you could. Ed Keaton's bro is definitely having some problems in terms of a certain little thing that refuses to go away that everybody seems to be catching still. As long as you're vaxxed and everything like that, you should be definitely okay. But shout outs to each and every one of you guys. If you can do that, that would be great. Thoughts and prayers always to you, Ed, and to anyone who may be going through some stuff. Buzz7332 jumping in with the first super chat of the evening. Buzz, thank you so much for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You always shock me with these every time we begin these streams, but I greatly appreciate that there, and we'll get into that in just a second. Well, we might as well just do it right now. If you'd like to be like Buzz, because Buzz, I'd greatly appreciate that, and be one of the official channel sponsors or stream sponsors, you're probably seeing a little ticker down below over there. Take a look at the first pinned comment on the replay, or officially here in the description box of the video live. It'll have all the details on how to do that. Of course, you can do super chat at the very bottom of your chat box. Is a little $ typically, and you can actually do it that way. Or you can shoot up to PayPal, which is actually down below as well. Or if you're watching this on desktop, the upper right-hand corner of your display, you'll find the link there. It is probably easier that way. That way YouTube doesn't take a whole chunk of what you put it in there. But naturally, every little bit helps. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. Of course, you guys will be listed down below as official channel sponsors. And should you decide to become a patron as well, you'll have a lot of fun stuff to look at there too. I greatly appreciate that. All that stuff is down below. So thank you so much for being here. And again, Bus, thank you greatly for your generosity and your love and support every week. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. Lord Darkside, somebody has told me that he's got a birthday going on tomorrow, and it's actually him. So, without further ado, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Lord Darkside. Happy birthday to you. Wow, I kind of rolled my voice there just a little bit. I think that was okay. Allergies are not really affecting me too much right now. That's good. But thank you so much for being here, Lord, and a very happy birthday to you. Health, happiness, and success always, like I always say. You already know. Let's see here. We've got Annette Cervantes in the house. Thanks so much for being here as always, Annette. Annette, I hope you're doing well and feeling a lot better. You should be now as well. Thanks so much for being here. Hey, Ben, 113, what it do? Thanks so much for jumping on. We got, is that Gingy? I want to say. Hello. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. We got Sherry, just me out here. Yo, 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 what it do? Thanks so much for being here. Greatly appreciate it as always, Sherry. Hopefully you're doing okay. It's a little crispy still here in Southern Cali right now, but it's a little bit more manageable, like in the 80s or so. But I've got my fans on going here, but I'm already beginning to feel like I'm a little warm right now, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Drew's Food Reviews. You already know what it is. Drew, great to see you as always. Thank you for being here. Let's see here. Rerum Trading, 5th like. Thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure you hit the like button down below. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you. It's a Giga Media. My friend Jack lives near you and would love to collab. Very cool. Very cool. Send some messages. It is great to meet all of you guys on here right now. Some of these names I haven't seen just yet, so it's great to see all of you guys. Let's see here. Who else is here as we're going down? Randy Molina, what it do? Thanks so much for jumping on. Tom Amadas, thank you. I appreciate that. Liked your stream and love your videos. Thank you so much. Like I always say, it's a labor of love to put together the stuff that I do, and I love being able to deliver it for you guys. Of course, we'll get into some of the content that came out this past week in just a few. It's been eventful, as you probably know. I know you guys are excited about a lot of the things coming up. Annette, no toys at my local McDonald's. You know what? Right after I filmed my review, they were sold out as well. But I just drove by today to get a drink, and they actually are back. So, and you can order them. So you should be able to see that ability to order it there in the app there as well. But I just for the the heck of it, I looked at some of the locations around me that day, and they were all sold out. So pretty crazy. I think it was a pretty successful collabo for the Cactus Plant Flea Market box. Very fun. Let's see here. And again, shout outs to Ed Keaton as well. Definitely, I greatly appreciate the prayer hands and all that good stuff there as well. It's not fun when you're sick with that. Believe me, it's been twice for me, so I know what you mean. I actually have to go for my 4th shot, which I don't want to do in about a month or so. I could probably do it now, but I'm just procrastinating it because I did not have a good experience with it the 2nd time, and then especially the 3rd time was not good for me. So we'll see what happens with that. Michael Domayer, thanks so much for jumping on. I appreciate you. Guys, the new Hellraiser is out today. I plan on watching it much later tonight along with the new episode of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. It's going to be a very fun night, as in addition to the stream naturally for this hour and then some dinner after as well. So it's going to be a good fun time tonight. I'm very excited to check out the new Hellraiser flick. And then, of course, next Friday, the new Halloween, finally, the 3rd movie, Halloween Ends, is going to be out, which should be pretty cool as well. So if you guys are ready for spooky season, this is the time where all the movies start rolling out. So it should be a lot of fun. All the TV shows, the ghost specials, and all that stuff as well. Shout outs to Mama Peeps, who's watching right now on her tablet as well. Moms, how you doing? I'll give you a call after. We're going to be doing something different for the review tonight, which I think you're going to appreciate. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Nobody will guess what I'm going to be reviewing. This is going to be a lot of fun. Chances are, if you're watching this on the replay, you already know by the thumbnail, it's definitely a first. So it should be pretty fun once we get to it there. And I'm actually excited to kind of check this out because I can kind of go for it right now. So it should be pretty good. Let's see. Drew, a storm is coming to take over. It's always raining in the lobby before we begin, as you know. I have a lot of fun with that. Annette, I appreciate all the shout outs for the tip jars, the PayPals, and all that good stuff. And to follow me on IG, I greatly appreciate that all the time. It really helps with everything here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Min Lee, appreciate you jumping on. Thanks so much for jumping in. And yes, Drew, we know electricity and rain do not mix. This is the time to actually have that happen, should it, because it's Halloween time, which is good. Okay, let me shoot on down here. Just Me Out Here is loving the sound effects. I'm glad you're digging them. I have a lot of fun putting my stuff together for you. It's always fun. Larry, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear about that funeral for your friend who was killed in the car accident. Wow, wow. Shout outs to you, Larry. I apologize for that. And of course, very traumatic. Let's see if we can try and, you know, kind of take you away from some of your thoughts of that somewhat here while you're just watching what you're watching here on the screen. So naturally, I appreciate you being here, and shout outs to you there. I really, I'm sorry to hear that. It's really, it's never easy whenever that stuff happens, because tomorrow is never guaranteed, right? So it's not cool, not cool. Annette Cervantes, spooky season. Yes, Kyle Broussard, we're going inside. We're all in here right now. I'm trying to catch up quickly. Let me see. I'm going down the line here. Let's see if there's some questions. Larry Nguyen, so it's expensive. $11.50 for the adult Happy Meal. Yeah, it's definitely pricey up there for sure. You already know. And, you know, I talk about that on the review naturally, but what you're paying for is the marketing and the toy, of course. And we'll talk about that, you know, as soon as we get to the food review goodies, of course. Let's see here. Jeff Goldberg, thanks so much for jumping on. People this out, love hopping on for live stream situation. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tony Montana, it's okay that you're late. I'm just kind of shooting around over here just to kind of see. Dom's World found a Michael Myers Halloween mask, Halloween Ends mask at a Party City for $80. Oh, very cool. I'll have to take a look and see what's going on with that. Definitely want to take a look and see. Subtegra, what's going on? The Witch's Broom, it's all good. There you go. Sticker collecting, what's going on? How are you? CeeLo Bong, Drifter Nomad, what it do? Appreciate you being here. Misty Smith, again, absolutely, that's awesome. Michael Domayer, 42 degrees in Detroit right now, man. I can't wait till it gets that way. Drew, hope you recovered from the Ghost Whopper. Oh, we'll talk all about that stuff. That stuff's been in the works for a little bit. I'm so glad when things are finally out and we get to talk about a few things, because I just like to keep that surprise going for those things. But you knew it was coming, right? I mean, come on. Jeff's Comp forgot about the toys. I really would like to see about getting those individually, because I'm not down with trying to go pay $12 again for another one of those meals to get another one of the versions. And the one that I got was fine. I guess, you know, it's Birdie is fine. But I would have liked to get Hamburglar myself, or Grimace, or naturally, you know, Cactus Buddy. We'll have to see. Sixwoods Taylor, what it do? How y'all excited for that? Are you all, or any of y'all excited for Halloween? Absolutely, you know I am. When I deck out my whole stream with all the Halloween goodies, you already know what it is. Good times. Sixwoods Taylor, do you like to eat caramel apples to Drew's food reviews? Let's see what Drew's answer will be for that. Jeff Goldberg, sounds like a great night. Yeah, it should be fun. This is going to be something that I don't usually do, so it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes. So I'm very excited about it. It'll be coming up in just a few. Ned Cervantes, shout out Mama Peeps. I'm shooting down the line here. I know I'm far behind here, trying to catch up in here. Ed Keaton, probably going to see Halloween Ends at home. Maybe in the theaters, I'm not sure yet, but most likely at home to check it out. On my big screen in the living room, and then just maybe possibly in the theater. We'll have to see. Tony Montana, I'm all caught up on She-Hulk, so I did watch episode 8, and yes, it was awesome. It was awesome. Absolutely. I enjoyed what I saw for sure. I'm not going to spoil it, even though it was a little different from what I remember from one particular character on another network, so to speak, but it was still pretty interesting how they did what they did. But it was cool. It was pretty cool, I have to admit. Let's see. Sub says the review will be eating raw pumpkin. Okay, there you go. Jeff, what's the review move tonight? Looking forward to a lovely situation. You will see, you will see, you will see. All right, my chat is kind of catching up over here. Misty Smith, anyway, anyone, this is the final show. Jack Sullivan, because Lance is coming back to our band. Can't wait to see him again. Let's give Jack a big clap for helping us for filling in. Misty, you are definitely always on one. I greatly think that is awesome. Thank you so much for the levity always. Drew, you got Grimace. Very nice, very nice. He really is, I think, probably the second best one besides a Hamburglar for me. And then Cactus Buddy is, I guess, the third one, which is fine. But always the classic stuff. But like I said, actually, in my review, where is Ronald McDonald? Where's the Ronald McDonald toy? I mean, I know he was on the box, you know, at the same time. But where is Ronald McDonald? You know what? Let's just talk about that really quick here, because really fast. This actually, of course, I saved it because you know you gots to. But naturally, with the 4 of them there, where is Ronald McDonald in here? I mean, he is actually right over here. I probably should have pointed that out in the review, because he's there kind of hanging back in the cut, but he's kind of mixed in with everybody. But, you know, very crazy with that. I love the idea of all the Chicken McNuggets actually having different names for each of them. I thought that was actually really, really cool. I've never known that. I've always known about the boot, but the others I have never known with that. But it's really cool. A very cool box. The marketing is really slick on this. It really is very well done. And then naturally, with good old Birdie here as the collectible. These are pretty high quality collectibles. They're heavy plastic with this. It really kind of feels like a Funko Pop a little bit, the way the design is. So I thought this was actually kind of cool. And for those of you wondering what the double eyes are, obviously that's the Cactus situation there. Cactus Buddy has double eyes, and it's really kind of to mimic what the Cactus is. So it's kind of a blending of their brand with the iconic members of the McDonald's franchise, which is kind of cool. So really, really slick with these in terms of just the overall adult Happy Meal. They need to be doing more of these naturally, because I would love to see more of the toys or more collectibles along those lines. I think geared towards adults somewhat. This is pretty cool, but again, if they're gearing this towards adults, you really need Ronald McDonald in the cut with this. You really do. So it really is kind of interesting with that. So just going over the goodies for this past week, because it's been an eventful one. You know, the very next day, I could not sleep the last night we streamed last Friday. I was up a good chunk of the night after that. I had my In-N-Out afterwards, which was amazing, by the way. Extra grilled onions, extra raw onions on top of a double animal style with no tomato like usual. But I just couldn't sleep that night. So I actually got up early the next morning and ended up going to Krispy Kreme at a different location, actually, in Burbank, California, which is a little bit further away from me, but not by much. Maybe about eight miles, give or take. But I ended up finding out the rest of the orchard, the Autumn's Orchard collection that I've been meaning to do, because I did the apple fritter and they didn't have the stuff for that pumpkin or the spiced apple variant of the donut there, but they actually had them over at the Krispy Kreme there. So I actually filmed that review the next morning, and that's what I put out on Sunday, just as kind of an impromptu. For that. And keep in mind, I was in pre-production for the Ghost Pepper Whopper already at that point by the time we were doing that stream. So I was already knowing what I was going to be doing for the next following week, naturally, when I actually went to go do this. But naturally, after that, we had the McDonald's Cactus Plant Flea Market box, which we just talked about there. And again, little action with all the toys. Very, very cool. A lot of fun to check that out. Which incidentally, just coming back to the Krispy Kreme donuts, very tasty on that, but very sweet. You got to manage the sugar if you're reviewing more of those at one time. One bite of each one pretty much equals a donut. So that was pretty much how I did that there. So very easy to manage that way. And we actually had the return early of Wingstop's chicken sandwiches. So I actually, I'm back on trying to do some of those flavors because they sold out pretty quick for that. So you'll probably see at least 2 more of those videos, because I do have a couple of them already ready. It's just a matter of just taking care of it and chopping them up and doing what I have to do. So that one will be in there as well. So it should be a lot of fun. And then guys, obviously the big gun for the Halloween season with this year's Halloween Whopper over at BK, which is the Ghost Pepper Whopper itself. It was a very awesome time to get an advanced early look at that. Cool marketing in terms of the stuff there as well. You're going to see some stuff coming out very soon. Of course, I did my stuff early enough where some of that you did not see in the review. But the actual product, I got to tell you, was a blast to check out. And obviously they did such a great job with that orange bun and the overall queso and the cheese and everything with it. I think you guys are going to dig it. So I'm looking forward to the avalanche of all those reviews that are going to be out this coming week early, I'm sure. It should be a lot of fun to see what people think of that particular burger, but it was a blast to check out. So of course, all that stuff is live here on the channel now. Do check it out. It was a lot of fun to film that particular one there. So good times across the board. Let's see. Not even a show. I'm feeling sick from a drink, but I also need to get home. And the bus isn't running. Oh no. Is there somebody that you can call? Not even a show. A buddy close by or somebody. Somebody, please. You should definitely give somebody a call, or at least a backup, just in case. Just in case. All right, so let me jump on up here. Tony says, I'm guessing it's going to be a pumpkin spice Hostess product tonight. You'd think that, wouldn't you? You'd think that. All right, let me come back up here. Let me see. Will there be a live stream on Friday before Halloween? That's the plan. I'm not planning to not, for sure. We'll have to see what happens, though, Ed. If anything should change, always make sure you guys are following me on Instagram, so that way it's at Peep This Out Reviews. You'll be able to find all the details there, because I usually post that day if something is changing as part of my IG story. So definitely keep a watch for that. Dietrich, what will you be for Halloween? Probably Michael Myers again, which is what I usually do, but I have something planned for a different event. So we'll have to see what happens, though. We'll have to see what happens. Aben waited so long to get the McDonald's adult meal and it failed. I am sorry to hear that. I am sorry to hear that. Hopefully they made it right, whatever it was that happened with that. Randy Molina, yes, Taco Bell is bringing back the Enchilito. I saw that in the app, actually. Very cool. Yes, they are celebrating that. Very cool. Very, very excited. ScottRush.com is wondering what the review will be. I'm guessing a breakfast item. All will be revealed shortly. You don't have to wait too long at all. Matt Covington, what it do? Thanks so much. I hope you and your family are doing well. Likewise to you as well, my friend. It's been a while since I've seen you. Thanks so much for jumping on back. CeeLo, Arby's country style rib sandwich coming. Probably not. Probably not on that one. Haven't seen the Chucky show yet, Larry. Haven't seen the new version of it there, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Dante's birthday is almost there. Excellent, excellent. Let's see. A-Bend is not enjoying She-Hulk episode 8. It's really, I think, gonna bode well for a character down the road for his own show. So it should be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Ed Keaton, yes, I'm going to be watching Halloween and Halloween Kills before I watch Halloween Ends next week. That's the goal. Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. So that's the goal, is one movie on Wednesday, and then Halloween Kills on Thursday, and then go from there. Missy Smith, bump diddly, bumpity. There we go. It's getting crazy already. All right, let's see. Annette Cervantes, get rid of Cactus Buddy and bring back Ronald McDonald. You know, I'm down with it, but honestly, I know why Cactus Buddy is there for obvious reasons, because that's the collabo with Cactus Plant Flea Market. But they needed to have a Ronald McDonald thrown in there. They should have made it at least 5 of them to really kind of make sure people really go for it. And that would be like the Chase version to get, where they wouldn't have that many of those. You'd have to keep buying those meals. So that's that missed opportunity, I think, for that. Or they could be saving Ronald for something else. Because obviously, I think this is successful enough where they're going to do another something like this down the road. I have a feeling. So it's a lot of fun. How could you not, right? Seriously. Drew, they put Ronald in the dungeon. They don't let him out anymore. You know, after the scare of a few years ago with all of the clowns that were going on, that's the main reason that you don't see Ronald McDonald anymore at McDonald's. It's because of that scandal a few years ago with crazy clowns, people dressed up and scaring kids and all that crazy stuff going on back then. That's the reason that Ronald McDonald was essentially pulled. It's not because they just decided to remove him. He's a major part of marketing for so long. But yeah, you don't see him at all. So it's kind of crazy how he is actually visible here, just chilling, but he's nowhere else to be found. So kind of crazy with that. Kind of crazy. All right, let me check one thing here real quick. Hang on one second. I just want to see one thing here. I want to make sure something is set, and it is good. All right, let's bring this back. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. Just a few more minutes. We're going to get into the review in just a second over here. Might as well give you guys a look at something that I haven't shown you guys in a while, because it happens to be on the 12th, I believe it's the 12th of next week, is the actual 40th anniversary of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Actually, He-Man's birthday is actually, I think, on the 14th is what they were saying. And to commemorate it, they've actually released something which you guys should definitely take a look at. Now, I'm not big on the Masterverse line because I don't really care for these figures because of the size, and it's just not the original like I'm used to. I get the whole updating, the whole look. But I made the exception with this one because, guys, right now, this is only about 15 bucks at Target. And it's only until Saturday. Normally, it's like 22, 23 bucks or something like that for this thing. But naturally, you can't pass up a good deal with that. But it's the classic look of He-Man in Masterverse form. So it basically has 30 points of articulation. It's basically an updated design. All these new characters that they have are using this style. So they have the Origins line, which I collect, and then they have the Masterverse line, which are newer versions than that you'll find like off the new show from Netflix, not the CGI one, but the Kevin Smith version. And this one here is actually done in the vein of the 80s character, but with this body from the newer characters that they're doing now. So as you can see, it looks pretty cool. Comes with his battle axe, comes with the shield, comes with the power sword, and actually a couple of different hands for posing. But it looks really, really cool. So the most powerful man in the universe, guys, right there, celebrating 40 years, and they have that embossed sticker on the front, which is gorgeous right there. It's got like a rainbow foil effect, which is very cool. And again, Masterverse, 30 points of articulation. On the very back, we've got some beautiful artwork. Castle Grayskull in the corner right there. And of course, a very cool portrait of He-Man and Battle Cat. And of course, we have Skeletor on the very bottom. And as you guys can see right there, 40 years ago, Mattel created Masters of the Universe, a world of space and sorcery and fantasy and technology. And He-Man, the hero who inspired children to discover the power within themselves. Very, very cool. I was literally just 9-10 years old when this came out, and I was really just immediately taken aback by it. I wanted everything with this, but circumstances being what they were, I actually moved away from New York when I was in that age range, and then basically started over in Los Angeles here, and that's when I moved here when I was like 10 years old, roughly 10, 11 years old. So I missed out on a lot of that stuff, which is part of the reason that I'm actually doing a lot of the collecting of that stuff now, which is all over the top and all over behind me. But this, naturally, I made the exception because it just looks awesome. The sculpting looks pretty awesome, and it's got that classic sculpt from the head there, which kind of looks like him as well. And naturally, everything about it is just cool. So the most powerful man in the universe, celebrating 40 years, makes me feel super old, but just a very, very cool character. To look here. My only Masterverse figure. If they do come out with a 40th anniversary Skeletor, I'll definitely consider that for sure. But of course, this is definitely just a cool collectible to have. So very, very cool. It's got the exploding rocks, very reminiscent of the older Origins cards. And it just looks awesome. Looks awesome. So a little Masters of the Universe goodness, because you guys know I am all about that. I absolutely love it, love it, love it. It is a lot of fun. All right, let me see here. Let's get back to the chat. Let me see if I can try and shoot over where I was. I know I've been talking about a whole thing here. Let me see if I can catch up. Let's see. Tony Montana. John Cena was not on the latest episode of She-Hulk. Come on now. Get rid of Cactus Buddy. Bring back Ronald McDonald. Okay, I think I know where I left off from Annette Cervantes right there. Kyle, what are your thoughts on the new Super Mario Brothers trailer? You know, I love the animation. The idea of Jack Black as Bowser is cool, but I knew Chris Pratt was going to be Boo Boo. I knew it, and I did not think it was going to be anything except what it was. Thankfully, it wasn't him trying to fake an Italian accent, but it's Chris Pratt's voice, and that's it. I am really like, oh, God. You know, I want to watch it, but honestly, I'm going to keep my expectations pretty low. Considering they're opening up Super Mario's Super Mario Land or Mario World over here at Universal Studios. Obviously, the timing is what it is. That's coming out in April next year, I believe. We'll have to see. But it's been a minute since I've played a Mario game. I mean, I have a lot of the more modern ones, except for maybe the last 3, I guess. And they come out with one every like 2 or 3 years, so it's been a minute. I don't have any of the other Nintendo systems. I haven't in a long time. But at the same time, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I want to see some more of the trailer. But the animation looks killer. I mean, Illumination doing all that stuff there. I think they do the Minions stuff as well, if I'm not mistaken. So the animation, of course, is going to be top notch. Let's see. Larry Nguyen, cookie or chips review tonight. Wouldn't you like to know? You're about to find out because I have to go get it in just a second over here. Dante Reed, did you see my question? Dante, what did you ask? I did not see what your question was. Let me see if I can shoot up quickly and see if I can find you by that avatar there. Oh, my birthday is almost there. I think that's what you said there. But cool, cool, cool. As soon as that occurs, we will definitely do something, Dante, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Scott, 4 eyes are better than 2 than they put on the cartoons. There you go. Dom's World, Halloween Ends will not be the last time we see Michael. Of course not. Remember, you can't kill the boogeyman. Absolutely. It's just the end of the story with Laurie. That's the thing there. Everything else will continue, I'm sure. Considering the age there, naturally, with the both of them, it should be interesting what they do with him forward or just do something else. It's kind of crazy. We'll have to see there. All right, I'm getting caught up here somewhat. Let's see here. Ed Keaton, remember Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo played Super Mario Brothers back in 1993? I remember. You know, the animation route is always the better way to go. Anything live action is really can be hit or miss with that. So we'll have to see. And yes, True Lord, Chris Pratt is also Garfield. Yes, I know that. I think I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it at all. Nothing against Chris Pratt. I think he has some pretty cool movies, naturally. But I'm not feeling that. I think it's a little overdone, just a little bit. Yes, Tony, you're going to need a whole room to display all of your He-Man stuff. It's no joke. I'm going to have to actually make some arrangements of this section over here. I'm going to have to kind of redo. And I'm running out of some wall space. I mean, I still have things I could do if I really wanted to, but it's just not necessary right now. But things are about to get crazy because the holiday season is coming and there's a lot of different releases coming too. So we'll see. Tony, you're missing out on Mario Kart Online. Yes, I know. I know. I used to play Mario Kart back in the day, of course, for the SNES. And all of that. And I have some of the portables too that I have for the DS as well, back in the day. Let's see. All right, another couple of minutes here. I'm going to go grab something and we're going to get started. And I'm very excited to see how this is going to go because I can't wait to give this a shot. It should be good. A-Band 113, Saul Goodman will always be the best fictional lawyer of all time. Absolutely. Absolutely. But there is actually one lawyer outside of She-Hulk in the current episode, which I think is right up there because of what it is. But naturally, I get what you're saying with Saul Goodman, of course. In terms of drama, absolutely. You already know. To Laura, 2 months until my birthday, December 2nd. Very nice. Very nice. We're coming up on a lot of different birthdays in a very short amount of time. That is awesome. That is awesome. Missy Smith, to Tyler A. Yawning. Can you keep the noise down? I'm trying to sleep. Oh, that's so crazy. Mitch Wibb, I He-Man and I eat them too. There you go. A lot of fans of Masters of the Universe, in effect. That's awesome. All right, let's see. Ed Keaton, yes, the late Dennis Hopper played King Koopa. I remember. That was just a bad movie. It was. For what it is in live action, that was a quick cash grab, if anything, there. Lord Beef, do you have Battle Cat? Yes, I do. And I have Panther as well as Flock Panther as well. Although there is something coming out from Mondo on October 25th that they're teasing online already, which is a much more deluxe version of Battle Cat, which is no way I can afford that, nor do I want to kind of plunk down for something like that, although I really would consider it. It's actually a little bit out of my price range. Armando Baron Gaming, today is your 22nd birthday. Shout outs to Armando. I appreciate you being here too. One of my day ones practically from the very beginning there. So we got to do it for you, Armando. Before I go and get the review, that's actually a good segue in over here real quick. For Armando, we got some cakes coming into the chat, I'm sure. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Armando Baron Gaming and Films. We'll say happy birthday to you. That's awesome. Congratulations. Another year around the sun. Again, to you as well. Health, happiness, and success always. You already know. Not that not bad. What video software and computer do you use? I use Final Cut Pro for editing on my MacBook Pro. Let's see here. Do you have the Mega Construx Castle Grayskull? I do not. I'm not into the Mega Construx line. Just the Origin line straight from Mattel. That's pretty much it, mostly. All right, guys, I'm going to go jump and get this review really quickly here as you guys are shouting out the celebratory messages to Armando, Baron Gaming and Films, and to all the peeps here, Lord, of course, as well. We got a lot of birthdays coming up here as well as on top of that. Maureen Descatato, thanks so much for jumping on. I saw your comment there about wanting to try the Ghost Pepper Whopper, and you guys all will have that ability, if not sooner than the 13th of this month. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to think of it. I really can't. So it should be a lot of fun for you guys to check it there. So let me grab the review. We'll get this going here. This should be a lot of fun, and I'm going to put you in standby mode. Talk amongst yourselves. Be nice to each other here in the chat. And I'll be back in just a minute or two. Hang tight. I'll be right back. welcome to Peep This Out Reviews with Ian K.
Stay frosty.
All right, I thought I'd swing back with the intro again, since to give you a little bit of a preview that I am about to show up here instead of just popping into view. If you guys like that, give me the thumbs up over here. If you like the intro again, real quick before I come on back, that would be great to know. As everything is going in here as well. John Hedren jumping in with the Stay Frosty. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thanks so much, John. I appreciate it, of course. And you see her popping up right over here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't been doing that for that transition actually before, instead of just popping in and scaring you guys at the same time. But alas, I'll just use the intro again. I think that's kind of cool, actually. It looks pretty cool. So, all right, there we go. We are back in. And again, shout outs to Bus7332, to John Hendren, anyone who may have contributed to PayPal to the channel. Guys, thank you so much. I won't know till after the fact, but of course you guys will be down below. I still can't find a way to link that as a notification here in the chat. Although I've seen stuff on Streamlabs, because I do have a Streamlabs link down below as well, which sometimes pops in. So naturally, YouTube always does. But naturally, I greatly appreciate you guys should you be doing that. All right, here we go. So you ready for this review? If you're ready for this review, give me a cookie here in the chat. Give me a cookie. Very curious to see if you guys are ready for this right now. And of course, I'm expecting a thumbs down from Subtegral. It's all good. Love and light to you always, Sub, because there's always a brighter days for us all. There we go. We got cookies jumping into effect. We got cookies in there. You guys are wondering what I'm going to be reviewing right now. We got cookies. Cookies galore. Cookies galore. That is so cool. Let me just put something over my computer here real quick just to make sure. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. I don't know how, but that's just crazy. We'll talk about this in a second. That's just nuts. All right. Dan, as much as I love cookies, and I love cookies as well too there. Ed Keaton, I appreciate, here we go, jumping in for just a second here for Ed Keaton. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate the super chat donation. My chat is moving quick over here. I'm be able to see this. Sometimes it works like beautifully, like magic like this, which is beautiful. Ogle is dealing with a rash. I am sorry to hear that. Hopefully you have some Noxzema or some type of skin cream to put on there, or maybe just something cool, some cool cloth or something as well. Pumpkin spice goldfish, Drew says. Chips pretzels. I don't know about that, Randy Molina. That's craziness right now. But let's see. We've got plenty of cookies. There we go, Ed. Jumping in for the super chat. I appreciate that. Well, I don't know how. But as I'm seeing all the cookies coming through over here right now, this is just pretty crazy. Tony Montana finally got 5 of the new Krispy Kreme donuts yesterday. Really enjoyed them. Nice, 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 nice. Actually, when I went to go film that review of the Autumn's Orchard that morning, they actually had the hot light, button on, or I guess that fluorescent light that's basically signals you can get a free sample. So I actually brought a donut back for the wifey for that there. So she actually had that available. As well. So yeah, that's always a good time to go during that time, because you get a free donut, which is kind of cool. So Dan, what kind of cookies? Scott says no luck finding pumpkin spice goldfish. Let's see, you guys are all wondering what that is. Well, you know what, it's kind of funny because Scott mentioned something, and I'm not going to let you cycle all the way up through it there right now, but there's something that I saw that I've actually never tried personally, but I've seen this available whenever I go to certain malls. They actually have these things over here. So this is going to be pretty interesting, because this is definitely going to be a first, because I've never done anything like this, at least at home. But guys, let's just get into it right now. Here we go. We're going to be taking a look at Auntie Anne's classic pretzel dogs. That's right, guys. Beef hot dogs wrapped in pretzels. So the fact that I actually saw Scott Messerschmidt's comment jumping up there with pretzel, I mean, you're probably assuming that it was going to be something like that, right? For what it is. Now, if you're asking yourself, how am I going to do this? Well, guys, I've actually been cooking these for a little bit. So I went to go grab it right now. I've actually had this staying warm in the oven. This is already handled pretty nicely here. If you guys want to see the calorie count info, there you go. One of these is going to be 330 calories. Looks like we've got the basic fat there, which is not bad. Carb, I expected that because of it's a pretzel. But check this out. Raising the standard for snacking. I had no idea that Auntie Anne's actually had this stuff available for home. I've seen Nathan's, they have different versions, but I was like, when I saw this, I'm like, wow, I've never seen this ever. So they're all doing these things. I guess Wetzel's, all these companies are coming out with like home-based versions of what these are. So very curious, because this is going to help curb my appetite slightly for dinner in just a little bit. I know you guys expected cookies because I wanted to throw it off for you. But here we go, guys. It's actually nice and warm from the oven. Take a look at this action. Actually, I think because it's safe over here, let me get this going. So we've got an all beef hot dog, and basic instructions to make this. What you got to do is put this for 60 seconds in the microwave just to kind of get it going, and then you preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and you put this in there for about 3 to 5 minutes or until it browns the way that you see here. So looks really, really good. I have to admit, it looks almost like what you would find in the malls, like when you go there. So it looks kind of cool. You know, I thought I'd do something a little bit differently. What I'm going to be doing is a little bit more of these types of things on top of the regular fast food stuff and the dessert stuff and the chip stuff, because I want to give you guys a little bit more to look at besides all the basics that you see all the time. So a little bit of the market stuff kind of goes back to my Market Monday days at the same time. But this looks really, really good. And if you're wondering what we're going to dip into, of course we're going to dip into something. So naturally, stay tuned for that. But let's just try this really quick because I am ready for it, and I'm excited to give this a shot. So, guys, the Auntie Anne's at Home classic pretzel dogs. I see these when I'm there. I never get them. I wanted to give this one a shot. Let's give this one a go. Let's peep this out. Here we go. Oh. Oh, yeah. Wow. The pretzel is crazy good on this. Wow. The thickness is on point. This is pretty satisfying, guys. Hang on. Guys, I made this perfectly. Wow. This is really good. Wow. I love pretzel buns. You guys know that. Pretzels in general with a cheese dip when they're kind of buttered and salty. Wow. This is really good, guys. It's juicy, and you could make this completely in the microwave. I know it's going to try and focus on my face. I'm trying to keep the focus in there. My focus needs focus. There you go. I'm working on it. My ring light here is definitely playing with the contrast because of with the color of my hands. But as you can see, guys, it is a juicy all beef hot dog. A lovely situation on this. I already can tell you I highly recommend these. This is gonna be pretty awesome. Now, this was on sale for $6.99 for 4 of them, so it's a little pricey, but at the same time they're very hearty, so the quality is pretty nice on this. And again, the toastiness of my oven did a beautiful job toasting this up here very beautifully. So again, 60 seconds in the microwave to kind of heat these and kind of get them going. You can kind of see that steam coming off this here too, actually. And then you put it into the oven at 400 degrees for about 4 to 5 minutes, not even. And just kind of watch it. I kind of flipped it. I kind of turned it here and there. But it really worked out pretty beautifully. So let me put this down, because if you guys know about in terms of dips, you can't go in on a hot dog without some form of mustard as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know about you guys, but I love the hot mustard over at Mickey D's. And I've got a bunch of these in my fridge. Do me a quick favor. You guys are watching this live right now. Drop here in the chat, how many sauces do you guys have like in your fridge? Like when you go to fast food places, do you have like a tray, like the butter tray on the inside door of your fridge that has like all kinds of sauces from like all the major fast food places? And if so, what are your most popular sauces? For me, it's gonna be the hot mustard from Mickey D's. I have some Taco Bell goodness naturally, Chick-fil-A sauce personally as well. But the hot mustard, Jason Callan, yes, you know, hot mustard at Mickey D's rules. But I got to tell you, it's going to rule even harder, Jason, once we go in with this pretzel dog, because this is so ridiculously satisfying right now. I can't even tell you. So try and keep the focus. Oh, the hot dog is slipping. That hot dog just slipped down. Whoa, I got to be careful with this one here. That was awesome. I can't wait to rewatch that. But yeah, we almost had a small accident here, but there you go. One of the reasons I got to be careful in front of my, my laptop here. But let's give this a shot with the hot mustard, man. This is a banging snack right now. Game over, man. Game over. Wow. Man. Absolutely. The sweetness The slippery sausage, says John Moo. Yes, we got a jumper. Yes, we do. Hang on. We're doing this again. I'm trying to keep that focus for you. My ring light is crazy. But wow, guys. Let's lather that up right there. If I'm making you guys hungry, that's the intention. Hang on one second. Be careful out the back. Wow. This is so good. Hashtag unsponsored. Wow. These are really tasty. Classic pretzel dogs from Auntie Anne's. I might as well just kill this with you really fast. I think I got 2 more bites on this one here. Let's give this a shot. This hot mustard makes this big time. It really does. All right. One more. That is a nice amount right over there. Let's kill this last bite together. So good. Oh my God. I was in the mood for something like that for a while. The pretzel is so good on this. Man. That's a nice size hot dog too, guys. I mean, I'm kind of good right now. It's really good. Look at that. Classic pretzel dogs. Lovely situation. If you guys see these in the stores, I would highly recommend you give them a shot. Normally $7.99. A little pricey, but for 4 of them, it's like $2 plus for each. But man, on sale for $6.99, you're still saving a little bit there. It's just the way things are nowadays, guys. The prices are going to be what they're going to be. We can keep complaining about it. It's not going to change anytime soon, unfortunately. But at least that one was a little bit on sale for $1 less. Really, really tasty. Overall, I'll give this one a solid 9 out of 10. I mean, the quality is tasty. Naturally, of course, the price is what kills these things. They're naturally, I don't think it's worth, $8 on a routine basis. But just to try something every once in a while, this is really tasty, guys. Auntie Anne's at home. I guess they're finally jumping into it and getting competitive with everybody else with this here. I would highly recommend seeking these out. They are very good. The pretzel has just the right amount of chew. The toastiness, of course, I made this perfectly right now by rolling it around. It really was even across the board. In terms of the texture, it tastes like a classic soft pretzel. And of course, with the juiciness of the all beef hot dog on the inside of this one, guys. Very, very nicely done. Chewalore, have to try spicy hot dogs. Yes, I do have to, because honestly, I'm not really like, in terms of hot dogs and hamburgers, I always err towards hamburgers because that's just my thing. But I like a good hot dog once in a while. Like at Costco, they have their $1.50 with the drink. It's been a while since I've been over there, but naturally, they're really good. And these are really tasty. So I'm pretty impressed. The size was decent. And overall, the flavor was pretty amazing. But of course, having it with a little bit of that action on the inside, like I said, that hot mustard is my jam. I love this with nuggets and just usually putting it on burgers. It's really, really good stuff. So very, very good stuff. That was just in my local market too. So you guys should be able to find those, I would think, just about anywhere for the most part. But very, very tasty on that. And guys, again, something different. So if you guys like to see some market style foods over here, give me a thumbs up here in the chat. Let me know if you'd like to see more of these things in the future, because I've seen a few things that I'd like to make and actually do that at the same time. It was really, really well done. Dan loves all beef hot dogs. Absolutely, all beef is the way to go. You already know. Let's see. Scott Messerschmidt, butter tray is full of sauce. Mickey D's Cajun, sweet chili, hot mustard, Wendy's ghost pepper. Yes, all of those. Very nice. All right, we got a consensus here. It looks like a lot of you guys like seeing that stuff. So I'll definitely be doing that too there. Maybe we'll take a look at some DiGiorno pizzas. We'll take a look at a few different things as time goes by. For sure. Not even a show. I invented something where I dip my French fries into ice cream frosty. Very nice on that one. Not even a show. I think a lot of people have been doing that though. Just saying. Let's see. Jason, my dad used to dip French fries in hot mustard. I do that whenever I get fries, which is not often. I got to be honest, Jason. I think you know that. Whenever I do my reviews, it's usually just the items. Or I'll get chicken McNuggets because I'd rather put those calories towards the chicken McNuggets than regular fries. But yes, agreed. Your dad had good taste. Absolutely there. Yes, game over, Dan. I'm just going back up the chat here really quickly just to see. Mostly ketchup, mustard, and taco sauce. Cool. You guys have a bunch of different things in the fridge. I could see that. Mr. Habanero Ranch. Yes, Jason. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've got 10 plus different sauces. Ranch, honey, Tony Schultz and from Taco Bell. I think we all have a mixture of the same places, right? I mean, BK with their zesty onion ring sauce. That's the best sauce, I think, for just in general, outside of hot mustard. And of course, classic ranch. About 50 ranches and garlic butters from Drew's Food Reviews. Nice, nice. Tony Montana, is the new Krispy Kreme apple fritter different from the normal one in any way, shape, or form? Actually, I've never had an apple fritter from Krispy Kreme, so I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you what I did have with it was very high quality, and it was a pretty delicious situation. So take a look at that review, Tony, if you haven't already. It was really, really good. Dan's got 53 sauces in there. John Mooney's got about 5. Very cool. Misty Smith, what's your favorite type of cookie? The chewy chocolate chip, personally. I love them when they're ultra hot out of the oven, where they're kind of gooey and they fall apart when you bite into them. That's my favorite all time. That's classic, though, I think. Let's see. Larry Nguyen, $7, no thanks. Yeah, a little bit pricey for them, I know. All right, so there you go. I'm catching back up here. There we go. We're caught up mostly towards the bottom here. Let me see here. Hey, Ben. Ian, I called you, Ben, for more comfortable instead. Call me Ben. No worries. Mulberries. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stands for agent. Okay, very cool. Ben, I appreciate that. Ed Keaton, speaking of fries, have you ever tried poutine from Canada? Yes, I actually have a poutine review on my channel, believe it or not. We had a poutineery, actually, that was here in Pasadena, but they closed up not that long after they opened. But I do have a review. I think it was a pulled pork or some type of situation like that. Just do a search for poutine and peep this out. You'll probably see something pop up there. But yes, it's very, very good stuff there, naturally, with the cheese curds and, you know, the gravy and that type of thing. Yes, Drew, I saw they're going to be selling Arby's horsey sauce as well as the regular Arby's sauce as well, too, on top of that. So I'm excited for the horsey situation. I would always, you know, when we actually had Arby's close by here before they shut down, that was the thing. I would always make sure I had a little bit of extra packets of the horsies, because I would use that with like other burgers that I would make, because that stuff is made for meat. I mean, it's really well done. So whenever I would cook a burger in a pan, or I would cook some type of meat, I would use that as some type of a dip or garnishment too there, because horsey sauce rocks. I think you know that too. Not even a show. Come to Canada. You can stay at my house, and I'm not kidding, man. Message me and you can sleep here free of charge. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. If I ever make my way up that way, for sure. You must watch Jackie Hero Food Reviews as well, because she is awesome up there in Canada, without a doubt. She's got a lot of amazing content. On top of Kendama KBD Productions TV as well. You have some great, great people who are doing some really awesome content up your way. But I appreciate the offer. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. True Allure says, cook spicy hot dogs in a skillet. That sounds like a nice situation as well. Let's see here. Krispy Kreme is so good, Dan says. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Really, really good stuff. Let's see here. Tony Montana has got his tongue out here. Very happy with the yummy yummies. Tony Montana had Taco Bell's Mexican pizza for the first time in a while for lunch. It was delicious. Last time I remember, great lunch. Yes, it's always a tasty situation, of course. Subway nachos at Subway? Well, Larry, you know me about Subway. Come on now. Sticker collecting. Hello. All right, so let's sing about an elephant, Misty Smith, as we're nearing the end of the stream. Jump into it, jump into it. Yes, Ogle, don't like Subway anymore because of what Jared did. Absolutely. That was a crazy, scandalous situation with that there. Absolutely. Let's see. Jason, heard they were going to bring back a couple of health foods from the 80s called The Stuff. I heard Walmart would carry it. Would you try it? I'd be curious to see what that is, actually. I'm planning a trip to Walmart soon, actually, Jason. I have to get a few things that only I usually buy from Walmart. I usually am stocked up for a while. So we'll have to see. Dan, love Pasadena. My uncle lived there. Very cool. Very cool. It's a great city. I mean, you're 40 minutes from everything in either direction, pretty much. You know, it's really kind of a good central base. And I've lived here for a long time, so I definitely enjoy it for sure. Know my way around town. And yes, Dan, I should go to Canada. I would like to travel just a bit. I mean, if I had maybe some more patrons along those lines to really kind of open up those avenues, that would be something to consider for sure. I know the wifey's been talking about that as well. Once we start getting back to traveling as well, that would be kind of cool to do. But we got to make it a little bit easier to be able to be done that way. So if it's all a group effort to make content to do these things, I would definitely be down for that, for sure. At least starting to venture out. Absolutely there. Annette, you know what? I almost did the White Castles again, actually, but I've heard about the White Castle cheeseburger rolls. I'm not sure if those are in the frozen thing, though, because we don't have a White Castle necessarily close by here, Annette, because of the West Coast. Obviously, you know this. But I'll see if I can find those. But I did actually see the White Castles in the frozen section, and I obviously have the jalapeno sliders essentially too. So I'll keep my eyes peeled, and we'll see what we can do with that for sure. Dan, love your Canadian fast food opinion. Very cool. I would like to try a few different things. Of course, doing some legit poutine would be awesome as well. Let's see here. Drew, Subway 40K review coming soon. Try Del Taco for the first time. Armando, I've got a whole playlist full of Del Taco, and I just finished a whole series of tortas for you to check out. Come on now. Tony, I want to try poutine. It's pretty decadent because of the cheese curds, the way they melt with the gravy. It's really something different. But it's on fries. How bad could that be, right? I mean, anything that's topped with fries, on top of fries, I should say, with chili, cheese, or anything else is going to be pretty awesome. Larry, haven't checked out the new Child's Play show yet, the new Chucky TV show. There's too much to watch. I have so much to catch up on. I just started back up with The Walking Dead. I just saw the premiere episode from last week. I'm into House of the Dragon with the wifey. We have a few things to get into naturally. American Horror Stories is American Horror Story, the main mothership show, comes back on the 19th. There's a lot that's going on right now. There's a lot. So I can't wait for to see what's going to be with that. Misty Smith is singing to Tyler A. He's not too easily scared. And yes, Randy, White Castle restaurants in Vegas. That's where I did my first review. Actually, my first and only review, I think, that I have there on the channel. So you already know. Let's see here. Jason, I was just teasing if the stuff was a Larry Cohen silence. Okay, it's a Yogurt and People. Guess what, people? I guess you saw it and would get it. Great movie. You really like it. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Jason. I haven't. I've been so inundated with trying to catch up on regular content with the wifey on top of my content in general, because there's always something in the hopper for the channel. I've got a lot to catch up on. I have a lot to catch up on. And yes, Annette, I think you mentioned that with Escondido, California, to try Peterson's Donuts. Yes, absolutely. I would love to. Making that pilgrimage down to check out the Gosu Opera in northern San Diego by San Diego State University. When I did that actually a couple of years ago, I remember I drove through California State University on the way to that BK, which was actually right by a college town. That's where I did that review. I wish I had brought a different light that day, because I remember I had like a shadow over my head or my face, I remember there, because it was still so early in the morning, and I had to film that to get home to put it together, and I ended up putting it out that night at 6 o'clock. So that was a very long night of leaving at 3 in the morning to get there by like 6 to do the filming, and then drive all the way back, be home by 12, and then go into editing mode. Yeah, I killed myself that day because I really wanted to get that out, because it was only available for that one day, I believe. And that was the thing for it there. So good times. Chualor, would you try coffee cake? Absolutely. I'm down with that for sure. But you guys may be getting a little tired of my hostess situation, so we may take a little bit of a break from that. Dan, any regional chains you haven't tried yet but want to? Culver's, absolutely. Absolutely. And at Cervantes, yes, please try the donuts from there. They're really good. One of these days, I'd like to. I'd love to make it on down there, maybe do a meetup of all the peeps in that area. That would be a lot of fun to do that too, to have some of those donut actions in Escondido. Not too far from where I'm at, and that's just a little bit of a ways at the same time. Any buffet reviews? Nothing on the docket, but you're going to see some stuff coming up this week. Obviously, Halloween is coming up, so you'll have to see what's going to be with that as well. So good times, good times. TC, what did you do for work before doing food reviews full time? Well, guys, for about 17 years, I was in wireless, believe it or not. So I was doing a lot of sales. I did some stuff in some of the marketing stuff on the side when I was tapped to do that. Most of you guys know some of the voiceover stuff I do. The more recent stuff, I'm Better Watch Out, doing a little bit of voiceover stuff there. And then naturally, some of the stuff you've seen me do and some of the commercial stuff at the same time. El Pollo Loco, and working with some other brands here and there. But wireless for 17 years prior to that. So it's been a long road, a long road. So let's see here. Last couple of things here before we round it out very quickly here. Ed Keaton, again, great stream as always. Thank you. Appreciate that, Ed. Thank you. Thanks everyone for your thoughts and prayers for my brother. I really appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Awesome. That is great to hear. That he's going to be definitely better and the symptoms are milder, which is pretty awesome as well. Bus, jumping in there again with the super chat donation. Tiger Tail sounds good. Yes, I was talking to mi familia, Mr. Jimmy, about hitting up Donut Man actually very soon because we got to celebrate a few things. And a Tiger Tail sounds good, but not sure if it's peach season or donut season. I think it's strawberry right now. To my knowledge, it's strawberry because I actually had a little something when I went over to Mr. Jimmy's spot. Actually, you probably saw in my story, I posted a few things there from that dinner. I brought a dozen donuts from Donut Man. So I brought over a strawberry donut, which they had a ton of, some Tiger Tails and a few other things, cinnamon rolls, stuff that they don't usually have around that time during the day when I went, but I saw they had cinnamon rolls. I'm like, I got to buy one of these and bring it. So that's what I did. So, but again, Bus, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat donation to all of you guys who have been doing that. Looks like we've got officially down in the chat over here. We've got Bus, Ed Keaton, and John Hendren. Thank you. Anything for PayPal, I'll know after the fact as always. Of course, I'll put that down below in the description box. But I appreciate you guys jumping on here right now. This was a lot of fun checking out a little bit of the Auntie Anne's action, which was very cool. So I'll be sure to keep you on your toes. You're not knowing what I'm going to review because it could be anything at this point now. So it should be a lot of fun. So we're going to really test the psychic ability of Drew's food reviews to see what I'm going to be doing. Although, like I said, Scott really kind of threw me for a loop. Scott Messerschmidt there with pretzel when I saw that. Excuse me, when I saw that, and I was just like, that's craziness. All right, let's see here. Randy Molina, haven't watched NDO Champ to kick food. Let's see here. Just me out here. Thanks so much for jumping on. I appreciate all of you guys. Jason, yes, send me the trailer for that. I'm very curious now. For that Paul Sorvino, very cool. You already know it's going to be awesome. Cameos of Carol Finella, Abe Good, cool. Big Larry Cohen fan. Mrs. Movies and this live series is great. Cool. I'll be curious to see that. Very cool. And again, shout outs to all of you guys here right now. Just to round it out, let me just send a huge shout out to each and every one of you again, as always, as we're in the middle of spooky season officially. It's officially coming up this whole month. It's on everybody's mind right now. We have a lot of stuff actually coming here on the channel throughout the month, as always, food review wise, as well as on the streams. Naturally, you don't know what it's going to be now. It should be a lot of fun. But I appreciate you guys making my stop here on the little section of the YouTube universe one of your places to visit here. And there's so many choices that you have for all the great content creators in the community. There's so many of them. But it's great to be here with you guys, to be able to celebrate all the fun stuff, to celebrate birthdays, to celebrate good times, and also to reach out to those who are not having the best of days, and to give you some prayer hands and to give you some positivity and motivation. Like I always say, we have a choice whenever we get up in the morning. We can either have a good day or a bad day. It's how you want to make it. So try and err on the side of the former and make it a good day. And then the rest of your existence here on this planet going forward will always be a good one. So naturally, you're always in that area in the positive side. So good times across the board. So again, thank you so much for jumping on. I'm going to be here in the chat for about a minute until the chat ends here naturally. Usually about a minute is when it times out. I'll try and answer a few things that I see. But do enjoy the shows this weekend, all the Halloween goodies. There's a lot that's going to be coming out. Naturally, I'm seeing you guys are all posting all kinds of stuff here quickly. KFC Wraps, I saw they're testing a few things across the country. Believe me, I'm aware of all of these things. It'd be great to see what's going to be going on. Not even a show. Appreciate that in Vancouver. Hit you up if you want to hang in Vancouver. Very cool. Very cool. I appreciate you. All of you guys who haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys do that as always. And let's just do the official closeout here since we're on it right now with Ian K officially closing out the live stream for October 7th, guys. We're officially in Halloween month. And like I always say, I've got brand new content every single week here on my channel. So why stay tuned for the next review coming real soon. In the meantime, stay frosty. Good times across the board, guys. Thank you so much for being here and for enjoying the content, for commenting on the content. I'm trying to get back into occasionally answering comments here and there wherever I can with everything else going on. So do watch out for that in the comment section of the stuff I put out. But I appreciate you guys. Amen to you as well. Thank you. I appreciate that, Dan, to all of you guys here. Randy Molina, hope to see you next Friday. Thanks for watching. In the meantime, stay frosty and always see ya. Thank you so much, Randy. Appreciate that. Maureen Descatado. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you always. All of you guys that are in here right now. Annette Cervantes, of course. Michael Domeyer, stay frosty. Buzz, have a great night. Stay warm, stay safe. It's going to start getting chilly here. I'm waiting for it to really get really chilly. We really need it. Just me out here. Hugs to all of you guys as well. Thank you so much, Sherry. everybody here in the chat. You guys are all amazing. It is a great to be here with you as always again. And again, to help celebrate a little bit more of the fun that is Halloween time here on Peep This Out Reviews. Watch Hellraiser, check it out. I'm very excited. I'll be able to talk about it next week. And we'll see what happens with that. I'm very curious to see what they did with it. I'm hearing great reviews, so we'll have to see. Tony Montana, I occasionally watch Family Guy, but it's been a minute. It's been a minute, actually. But shout outs to you. Let me jump on over here real quick. We'll do this one more time to finish it out officially with Spooky Month in effect. Jason, I see you popping in there. Thanks so much for that trailer. My Facebook notification in there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout outs and homie hugs to all the amazing content creators out there. Those who are watching from the background, those who are here in the chat. To all of you guys, thank you for doing what you do. Homie hugs to every single one of you as always. And again, more great content from all your amazing peeps coming this week. Most definitely, it's going to be an explosion of Ghost Pepper Whopper reviews, and it's going to be awesome stuff. So great stuff there as well. So thank you so much for being here, and we will see you on the next stream. And with that, peace. I'm out.